The very first book I ever did that took off to mainstream media was called 3 Feet from Gold. Now, I'm going to tell you a story behind the story. You see, there's a book called Think and Grow Rich. It was done about 100 years ago by a guy named Napoleon Hill. He gained access to the richest dude of the world, Andrew Carnegie. And Carnegie says, here's an opportunity for you. He says, work for me for free for 20 years. I'll send you on a mission to meet all my friends. Napoleon Hill reached in his pocket, didn't even have 2 nickels to rub together, and said, work for free for what? He says, Mr. Carnegie, not only will I accept that journey, I'll complete the task. And then Carnegie says, fine, you got yourself a job. And Hill says, why are they going to talk to me? I'm just a kid. I'm nobody. I'm not connected. He says, don't worry about it. I'll write you a letter of recommendation. When people see it, they know I sent you. Give you all the time you want. Sat down with Edison, Einstein, Fords, Rockefellers, and wrote the 20th best-selling book in history called Think and Grow Rich. But here's where it gets kind of cool. You see, Carnegie was a stickler for action and gave Napoleon Hill 60 seconds to make up his mind to work for free for 20 years. And when Napoleon Hill said yes, Carnegie pulled out a stopwatch he began behind his back. There was 31 seconds left. He made a major life-changing decision in 29 seconds. But the best part of that story is that Carnegie made that same offer to over 250 men before Napoleon Hill. He was the only person to say yes. Everyone else had a bad case of the one size. That means I'm going to take action once I get the kids out of the house, once I get the big breaks, once I win the lottery. And it's the people that take action. It's the action and the law of attraction that makes our dreams a reality. You got to think it, feel it, get off our backside. We got to take action and do it. How many times have we thought about knocking on more doors? How many times have we thought about getting some door hangers and going around and hiring someone to put our name and spread our message? How many times have we thought about picking up the phone and calling some of our past clients to get some referrals? But it's the people that take action. Again, they're the ones that we tell the story about. Well, that was in 1908 when that happened. Fast forward 100 years, 2008, the president, surviving family of the Napoleon Hill Foundation and the grandkids wrote that same letter like Carnegie gave to Hill, and they gave it to me. I basically got a Willy Wonka ticket to meet any human alive. And my full-time job is I travel the planet to meet the most powerful, influential people and then tell their stories in books and movie. The first one we did was called 3 Feet from Gold. It's a story about a guy named R.U. Darby. He gets gold fever and goes out west, knows nothing about gold, but everyone's doing gold, kind of like NFTs today, right? And he goes out west, starts digging, and finds a couple nuggets. He gets excited and he hides it and he buries it. Tells his family and friends, and they chip in money to buy equipment to pull it out by the ore cart. The first cart comes out of the ground, and sure enough, it's filled with gold. Woo! Does a happy dance. But then the gold runs out. They kept digging. There's no more gold. Defeated, Darby walks out of the mine and says, I quit, and sees a junk man walking by. He says, hey, buddy, give me $200. I'll say the mine, the deed, the equipment. I'm going back home to something I know. Well, the junk man surveying the equipment, it was worth 10 grand because the family chipped in, gave him $200 right away. Darby goes home defeated. But the junk man seeks counsel. He goes to a local engineer and says, what happened? This guy had gold and ran out. And the engineer starts laughing. He goes, man, that's mining 101. Everyone knows that gold runs in a straight line. It's called the gold vein. What Darby did is he came in one side, hit gold, popped back into dirt. He says, go back to where they discovered treasure, go 3 feet, just 90 degrees the opposite direction. You'll tap back into the vein. Not only did the junk man pull millions upon millions of dollars out, but that's what fills Fort Knox today. And the moral is, how many times have we or someone we know quit one class short from a degree or sales or marketing or marriage? It's easy to quit, but it's the people that persevere. They're the ones that we tell the story about. In fact, the first person I got a chance to interview in here is a guy named Dave Liniger. Now, Chris, you know him, but most people don't. And I sat him down and said, Dave, you wanted to get into real estate back in 1970. Was it hard? Because it was brutal. Because all the money ran out, the investment money, interest rate was 27%. I didn't know what to do. He goes, for 2 years, every phone call that came in was from a bill collector. He goes, when the phone would ring, I'd run across the hall and I'd pick it up so my poor receptionist wasn't put in the middle. The third year, they threw me in jail. They called me a fraud and a liar. I said, what'd you do? He says, I took my attitude from trying to prove everyone wrong around me to just prove myself right. He goes, I knew I wasn't what they were making me out to be. He said, I had the courage to pick up that phone that would call before they could call me. And I call every bill collector every month and said, I'm going to be honest, I don't got 50 grand I owe you. All the money's gone. but I got $50. Let me send it to you with the promise I won't quit. He said, don't give up on me. I won't give up my dreams. He said, I called every bill collector every single month until the fourth year. Someone finally believed in me and bought the first franchise called Remax Real Estate. He goes, look, I'm nothing, but how many people's lives were changed because I wouldn't quit? And how do we know someone watching this Zoom right now isn't about to give up on their own dream? Because Visa called them this morning. And from there, I got a chance to meet some amazing human beings. But my greatest takeaway from 3 Feet from Gold was John Schwartz. Now, John Schwartz invented something called string theory. If you ever watched a Big Bang Theory, Sheldon was trying to figure it out. But the guy who did, John Schwartz, and he said, one of the greatest lessons I think I ever heard, he said, successful people seek counsel and failures listen to opinion. Successful people seek counsel and failures listen to opinion. I go, what's the difference? He goes, think about it. He goes, opinions based on ignorance, lack of knowledge and experience, like all your family friends who've never done what you're about to venture upon. Counsel's based on wisdom, knowledge, mentorship. People have paved the way. If you go to a family friend and say, I'm going to get into the real estate racket, they're going to tell you, are you crazy? Are you not seeing the interest rates? Are you not watching the news? That's their opinion, and they've never sold real estate. If you go to Chris Heller and say, hey, I want to get into the industry, what do I need to know? He's going to say, sit down. Here's what you need to know, and give you counsel based on wisdom, knowledge, experience, and wisdom. John Schwartz said, if we would spend our activity only seeking counsel and ignoring people's opinion, that's a day your life would change.